All right. Hope everybody's doing good today. Play game for fun. What's up, Wicked? It's good to see you. Thanks for dropping into chat. It's Monday. Back at it. I'm not really sure what to work on for today. I think the fashion show's in a really good place right now. And I thought it would be interesting to maybe work on just like a forking project for this. A forked project of this that's like the game Dress to Impress that's on Roblox. Because everybody's really interested in a game like that. And I think I have this in a really good spot at the moment. We have our 4 artists working on new gear sets for the next show, which is scheduled for the 31st. Cosmic horror is the theme. Something I did do that I've been thinking about is you're at work today, but you can join on audio. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. Play a game for fun. The next big event is going to be on the 31st of this month. Cosmic horror. Just in time for Halloween. I'm not sure the time or anything like that. I usually do trick or treating with the family on the 31st, so hopefully we can have it earlier or something, but I'm not sure. We'll get it figured out. But I did add this part up here so far while I was messing around trying to find some place that we can do parkour. And so you can climb up to the back now with this singular, really tall red curtain. So I was thinking about maybe ending the red curtain a little lower, and then you could parkour up there if you wanted to hang out up there. But other than that, I think it's really good. Roxy's working on acquiring these signs that are for rent. We can do that for free for now. I just want to fill them up. So if anybody has anything, like play game for fun, if you want to like advertise your land or plaza or whatever, we want to do an asset, you know, one of these could be for you even. So anybody who's interested in advertising anything, I would like to fill these walls up. So Wicked, if you have something you'd like to put here, let's do it. Just get with Roxy and let's get these walls filled up. And then after that, potentially, maybe signs could get replaced with a sand value if anybody's interested in doing that in the future. So, yeah, until I get direct feedback on the fashion show, I think it's in a really good spot right now. So, forking the fashion show into a Dress to Impress, what does that mean? It'd be cool to work on that on stream for a bit, since I'll be inventing logic. That's really what I enjoy doing. Just a second, I gotta fix my mouse. You should be able to join on the 31st. That'd be awesome. I've been trying to encourage people to use the fashion bot in the Discord. The channel's called Be a Judge. Let me see if I can pull that up. The channel's called Be a Judge, and everybody's encouraged to vote on this. Let me see if it's still working. So if you go /list outfits, which you can just push the button here, I've made a Discord bot so we can keep track of all the outfits that were part of... Oh, I had to restart my computer. Let me start my bot. I forgot to start this bot back up. I wasn't getting audio through my headphones, so I restarted my computer. Why isn't this opening? CD Rust projects. Why didn't that open before? Oh, I did /CD. Whoops. All right. What's this other folder called? Discord bot fashion judge. And then we go run it. Whoops, I have to alter one more folder. I'm new to this programming stuff. There's another cargo folder. Now if I run it, we're running. My antivirus is trying to check to see. Okay. Why'd this open a new box? What the heck? Norton opened it? Okay, it's back in here. Maybe it opened it in like a virtual environment. I'm not sure. But yeah, the bot should be working. If it's not working, let me know and I'll fix it. But I'm going to use the votes as like a raffling system for tickets if we have enough people interested. So now if I try list outfits, there's 4 outfits included so far, which Roxy has sent into the system. So if you click the view button, oh, dang it, it's still not working. Why does that not show the picture? Because the picture's still here. I might have to rebuild the database so that I actually keep track of my own pictures. Here we go. Just how about if we look at outfit 1? It's not showing the outfit. Hmm. I'm not sure. I guess it isn't quite working yet. I'll have to work on this a little bit. Make sure that the images stay permanent. But yeah, but this I don't know a lot about programming. This is just me working with a programming chatbot to try to make a Discord bot, which is working pretty good except for the fact that it doesn't keep track of the images very well. And at first I thought it's because we were using ephemeral Discord messages, which are these messages that are only visible to you and you can dismiss. So I told the bot that we're going to submit the pictures on this channel, the admin channel, which you guys don't have access to. So if Roxy submits this outfit here, I was thinking we'd always be able to use it. I don't know. Keeps track of everything except for the picture. So yeah, let me work on this a little more, I guess. Whoops. Let me just fix it quick for the day. So we'll save Peanut Vox as my own. Save image. Andy Graga as my own. Save in image as Sebga. Save image as Riot Rhino. This one's just giant, more big. So I think I can go. I can update outfit image because I'm an admin. So we're gonna do one with Peanut Box. Be a judge. So now if I dismiss these, slash outfit one. So weird. Why does that go away? Maybe it went away when my bot crashed. I don't know. But yeah, I don't want to have to do this every day. So I'll just have to build my database in such a way that also grabs the picture probably. Or uses a image server of its own kind maybe. I'm not sure. Andy Graga. Did that work? So slash outfit 2. It's also not showing their real name because Roxy was using the actual @, so it puts their number in there. Let's use list outfits. So here you can say it says Peanut Vox. Then when you click on it, it'll be Peanut Vox with the number. So I don't know if we should actually use that. It's cool because you can click on their profile, but it's also easy to search for people if you're interested in them. All right, well, at least the band-aid's on for today, and we'll work on that a little bit. Slash list outfits is the easiest way, or a leaderboard. And so now when you click, you should see the pictures. You can vote with a command, or you can use these pictures to click on these stars. And your votes are permanent, so you can't go back and change them. And then your votes are going to be only visible to you, but on the back end, I will be using the amount of times you voted as a raffle system for giving out tickets and giving out sand and other stuff. So, booyah. The Wizzy contest, I saw a post on that. Yeah, I should vote on that. So we moved over to the cheer for gear. I called it cheer for gear. Instead of dress to impress, it's cheer for gear. And what I was thinking is you'll just be in the lobby section. So I moved the slot machine down here. The points of interest quest still works because there's a bag here, the gift bag. Nothing's really changed. I put all the coins on the floor as well, so the coins will spawn instead of spawning up and down the steps. So, to anybody who's never played Dress to Impress before, basically what happens is you spawn in and you have 2 minutes to dress up. How do you dress up in Dress to Impress? You walk around the room and put things on that are on the walls. I don't think I'm going to really do that for this game, especially yet, but we can use the gear that people have made so far to put on there. But as far as making gear and stuff, I think it would be more interesting to use this experience as for people to use the gear that they own. So what are you using the gear for? You use it because every 2 minutes or every round, every loop, you're given a theme, and then everybody takes turns walking down the runway while everybody else votes. And so we just have to build that in a sandbox sort of way. And what does that even mean for us? So essentially for the world building for this game, which is cheer for gear, which is a Dress to Impress inspired game that is going to be forked off our fashion show. I was going to keep all the walkways above so you could look up and see it, but there's no way to get there. So you're going to be stuck in the lobby, and this is where you're going to get the theme and dress up. And then after that happens, you're going to get teleported up here somewhere. I haven't quite figured out what it's going to be like yet. Or maybe I have. Everybody is probably going to get teleported into the judges' seats up here. So you're going to be trapped up here looking down the runway. And then everybody else is going to take turns walking down the runway. And then people vote, and we'll have to build some sort of teleportation system that gives everybody a turn. And that's going to be the difficult part here. So essentially what I need to do first is just delete a lot of this other logic going on. I could actually just move this gear downstairs because this is the gear that you would be able to start by collecting. Actually, do I still have this stuff in the dressing rooms? Yeah. So this game is a totally different game from the fashion show. And I thought it would be cool to maybe put it in place of the fashion show when it's not running. The live events aren't running. So that way people could actually play a game in the meantime. That's just instead of having live judges or anything, it all just happens automatically while people are entering the map and leaving the map. For now, let's just get rid of this entrance message. It'd be really cool if you could, you can just delete whole boards and whole folders. That's dangerous. So essentially, I probably want to just start over. I don't need any of this, I don't think. We'll go with a different voting system. Everything's going to be in the HUD. Judge and artist variables. So essentially, in this version, everybody is their own model. We could think about it that way. Everybody's a model. I'm going to do everything totally different, so I should probably just start fresh. Give me 1 second. I'm going to refresh my coffee. Also, I can hear my dog barking. I'll be back in just a minute. Turn the BRB on. All right, I'm back. All right. So before I do this, I'm going to duplicate it, actually. Might as well. In case I'm really upset with deleting a bunch of stuff. Oh, Nikes. I missed the 3 little dots. Open the whole experience. Alright. Cheer for gear, 3 dots. Duplicate. Alright, so let's put some logic together. Or at least try to think through how this would work. And I'm going to start by deleting a bunch of logic. So this probably has some uses. Not that I'm going to give anybody admin HUD. Slot machine I want to use. Catwalk coins I want to use. Catwalk credits I want to use. Logic room I don't think I need to use at all. And we'll just leave the quests on and all this stuff. So logic room. I'm not going to do audience voting like this. Team score. This is all live voting. So can I just... couldn't I just delete this? Because I'm in it. Logic room. Catwalk coins. Why can I delete these but I can't delete? Because I'm in one of the boards? I did not realize you could do that. That is awesome. Alright, so let's create a new category called logic. Call it the logic room. So let's think about what happens in our logic room. When you spawn in, you are going to have to get a unique identifier. Everybody needs a unique identifier. So model number, catwalk number, something like that. And when you hit a trigger volume, you're going to add 1 to a global variable and then assign that number to a local variable. And that way, everybody will always have a unique identifier. TV on, TV off into the rules here. So we already have a trigger volume message on entry. That's synced. Let's go into the rules. So if I go into logic room and let's create a new board. Rename. Let's call this the unique identity. Unique identifier logic. Something like that. I don't know. Unique identifier logic. So we already have 8 models. We could make this game for 8 players. I think would probably be the best. I don't know if I'll be able to use names. We could use this variable roll that we're already using a little bit. Starts at 0. It's not a persistent value. We could use roll. So there needs to be a local. Let's just start over. Because I want the variables to be next to each other. So if I delete that, we don't have judges. Can delete all these. We don't have artists. In this version, we just have models. Let's use these 8 model names if I can figure it out. I'm not really sure how that'll all work. Set amount of judges. I don't need that. Active team on the catwalk. I might use something like that. I don't know. It's not going to work like that. With 3 different judges. We might do some stuff like this, but we just clear up these variables. I'll use a blank variable banner. A banner text, a blank banner. Keep that. Catwalk credit timer, we're going to keep that. Catwalk credits, we're going to keep that. Gift bag timer, yes. First player join, true false, we should keep that. These are all for the coins. Slot active, bet, teleport. These are all HUD admin stuff. Point of interest, these are for the quests. Alright, so if we go, let's just do a global integer. I'm thinking what I should name it. Model here. Models global. And then there'll be a player one called. This is your model number. Model global model number. So this is basically just going to be keeping track of the amount of people that enter the map. And if it's the first person that entered the map, then they're going to be assigned the number 1. If they're the 5th person that's entered the map, they're going to be assigned the number 5. I wish there was a better way to do it where I could keep people numbered like 1 through 8, but I can't really think of how to do that. You can send message on player exit and then potentially rework people's numbers, but player needed messages and stuff is tricky, so we're probably going to have to just work with the original number that you were assigned and try to figure something out that's automated. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. So we have a trigger volume message that already happens on player join. Do we even need to use that? Probably not. We can just use the message on player join. So let's say that with the message on player join is a message because I have a board here. If we go up to this board, on player join, admin HUD board, you can see that I have this rule right here. On player join, we're going to send the message on player join. So this is a player message that a player sends out every time that they join the map. And we're going to use this to assign them a unique identifier. So on player join, we're going to grab the variable models global, and we're going to add 1 to it. So it'll go from 0 to 1. That's the new models global. And then we'll go model dot set, because it's a short word. Model dot set. So then if we take replace, we could have said replace, edit number value. Then we're going to say when we get model dot set message, then we're going to take our model number and we're going to assign it to our global. So you're the first player to join the map, you'll be model 1. If you're the second player to join the map, you'll be model 2. And that's how this works. So I'm trying to think of what else I would need to do here. So you would have to have an active memory. You'd have to have an active memory of what model numbers are on the map and which ones aren't, I think. I'm going to have to build like some sort of sandbox array thing with true falses, probably. Like some sort of memory that's like... There's one required players. Well, you're going to need at least 2 people to play this game. So let's say that between 2 and 8 people can play this game, just to try to make the logic a little easier for myself. And you can join games in progress. You can see people's names right above their head, which is nice. So if there's 2 to 8 people allowed in the game, then I would have to have... It would have to be able to remember up to 8 people. And if you left, it would have to clear out your memory and allow for a new person to enter there. I think I might be able to do that. So on player join, model set is going to give you the model number. I wish you could send a message after edit number. That's why math is really cool and edit number value or replace things aren't as powerful because you can't send a message afterwards. So like I guess essentially we could do the same thing by duplicating this and just use math instead. So model.set is, so you add one to models global and then you add models global to your model number. And that'll be essentially the same thing. It'll be 0 plus whatever models global is. And then we can do model check. So model check is going to check the array and put you somewhere in line from 1 to 8. Or from, yeah, 1 to 8. Should I try to keep this all on the same board or split it up? There are definitely going to be variables. So let's say, let's just call this the array for this. Is array 0. It's a global number. And array 0 array 0 true false. It'd be like array 0 true false and array 0 integer. So it'd be like, is it true or false that 0 is taken? And then what is the number? And then hopefully when I send a message on exit, your system hopefully should be able to check which array you're on and turn it off to make room for the next one. It'd be really cool if you could duplicate variables. Array 1, true, false. And so I'd have to do this for 8, if we're playing with 8 people. I think 8 would be a pretty good number. All right, let's just start with those two. So model check. I'll just try to create a new board for this. So if we're going to add a new board into the logic room called the array checker. So it would start with an if else then. And it's going to check the first true false one. So model.check is the message that comes in. And then we're going to check array 0 true false. And if it's true, then we'll go model.check.1. And if it's false, we'll say model.check.0.false. Okay. And so if it's false, we're going to, let's just use math for now in case I need to send messages. Model.check.0.false. Okay, so if we get this message, then we're going to take our variable of array 0 integer and add the variable of our local model number to it, and that's the array 0 integer. Let's just put all this together for now. And also, it's going to edit a true false value. So the first time we get 0 false, it's time to turn this to true so that we can do model check 1 instead. Now, the only thing I'm thinking about here is on player exit. Can I undo this? So if I give myself on player exit, which I've never used before, on player exit. So if I can compare a number, if we get on player exit, I want to check their model number. And if it's equal to 1, then array dot 0 dot reset. So that would go array dot 0 dot reset would turn this to false, allow somebody to use that space. And it's also going to, we can just use math in case I need to do a message at some point. And if we get array.0.reset, then we're going to multiply array 0 by a fixed number of 0, and that's going to be the new array 0 integer. And then if an array has a number of 0, it's not going to trigger a teleport or something like that. Do I think this will work? I have no idea. It seems kind of logical. If it's equal to 2, then we can say array.1.reset. I've made two sets of variables so far for this, 0 and 1, so let's just do one more for now. We'd have to do this 8 times because there's going to be between 2 and 8 players in the game. If it works out and people are playing it, we can always go up to 20, just a lot more logic. So I think if I duplicate this, so this model check is going to go into this. Because every time somebody comes in, we're going to basically check at A. We're going to start at A and go to Z. Start at A, go to Z every time. Start at the beginning, check everything. And then like the first thing that's open, you're going to put them in that one. That's basically it. So model check 1 is going to check the first array. If it's true, then we're going to move on to model check dot 2. But if it's false, then we're going to say model dot check dot 1 dot false. Check dot 1 dot false. So we're going to take the number 1 array and add your model number, and that's going to equal the 1 array. Now, if on player exit that model number is equal to 2, that's not going to actually work. We're going to have to know which array that they're attached to, not their model number, because their model number is going to be arbitrary. So when we decide which array they're going to be in, this needs to tell a local variable which array they're in as well, which isn't too complicated really. So if we just create one more variable here, so we made models global, model number, and then we'll do one more integer for players. That's called your model array. So instead here, we're going to be checking your model array. So let's actually start at 0 here and 1. And so we can include this all in the same logic here. We're going to edit a number value. I don't think I need to send a message here. And when you get check.0.false, then we're going to set your model array to 0. And we will start model array at -1, I guess. So let's duplicate this. So model check.1.false. If it gets this message, if a player gets this message, then they're going to assign their model array to 1. So the system needs to know which array they're in. So instead of checking their model number, we're going to check their model array. And so that way we can reset the proper array. and make room in that array when somebody drops out and somebody else drops in so the server can keep going. I don't know if it'll work or not, but it'll be a good test. Let's at least start building a HUD to keep track of some of this stuff, and I'm going to throw a save in here so I don't have to pull my hair out later. Okay. So these are the old HUD rules from the other fashion show. And for now, I'm just going to turn this one off. I'm going to turn my admin HUD back on and use that. So on player join, let's turn on a HUD. Let's edit it. I'm just going to start by deleting everything. Alright, so what would be cool to keep track of just for an initial test here? Let's grab the new variables that we made. So let's say models global. Let's grab model number. Confirm, and then we also did this variable called model array. On the bottom, let's pay attention to the array 0 true false. Array 0 integer. So yeah, it's going to be pretty much close to the stream for today. This will be a nice little test that I'll be able to do with Roxy later, and we can keep working on this logic. Cheer for gear. Address to impress clone. Hopefully, if it works. Whoops. Alright, so that's all the variables that I made today. Models global, model number, model array, array 0 true false, array 0 integer, array 1 true false, array 1 integer. So let's see what happens if one person joins the game. I should be assigned to the 0 array, which should turn to true. The first array, the first array should be still false with nothing included in it. The global model should go up to 1, and I should be assigned as that first model. The HUD must not be quite hooked up right. think everything's good here. Whoops. Oops, it's the wrong message. It's not on player exit, it's on player join. The array 1 is true, which is wrong. Models global 1, model number 1, and I'm in the 0 array, which went up from -1, so that's correct. Array 0 is true because it's filled with the number 1 right now, but array 1 also went true. I wonder if I put the wrong variable in there. Let's check it out. Actually, really quick. Okay. If we go over to the rules, I probably just made a simple mistake. Let's go into our array checker. Array.1.reset should be this message. This should be check.1.false. Model check 1 false. Array 1, that's your new model number. Or that's your new array 1. Check 1 false. Oops, and then this one. Array.1.reset. So if you push all these, they should go where they're supposed to. Reset, boom, boom. Model 1 reset, so those aren't hitting the wrong ones anymore. This is 0 false, talking to all the right ones. We also have 3 here, so if this one's true, it's going to talk to this one. So I think it's all hooked up good now. Just had some simple mistakes. All right, yeah. So potentially I could simulate exiting, I guess, right? Let's go ahead and grab a lamp for old time's sake. Let's put a lamp right here. Make it a button. Synced. Message to send. On player exit. We'll send it to the rules. And then let's have an on player join too for fun. So on player exit, should take me off of array 0. Which it did. So I should get assigned to array 0 if I push this. And I'll be model number 2. Models global went to 3, and I got assigned to 2. I don't really get it, but array 0 became true again, and the array 0 integer became 2, so it knows that I'm in array 0 and my number is 2. Let's try to hit player join again, which should move me to the next array and give me a new model number. So now I'm 4. I don't know why it's adding multiple things to global. To check that out, maybe I've got some multiple things in, but it's still working the same, giving me a unique number, and it's just creating a unique number, so it's working. This one moved me over to the second array. So you can see my model array is number 1, so when I do exit, it should leave the first one alone while resetting the other one, which it didn't fully. It took it to false, but then it left it as a 4. So there's probably a simple mistake in there. That should be array 1 integer. It's annoying to start at 0. I'm just going to go back to 1 because it's introducing problems for me. So I don't want to actually start at -1. I just want to start at 0. 0 means you don't have an array. 1 means you're in array 0. And then we can easily just set it back to 0. All right, so hopefully this works really well. I think it's sound logic where we can keep track of the 8 players that would be able to join the map. Are they going to be model 1 through 8? The system should automatically keep track of that as long as on-player exit is working good. Next, we would have to build some sort of teleportation system that, like, the easiest thing would just be like array 0, go to the teleport, array 1, but I don't want the order to always be the same. So it'd be really cool if we could randomize the people in the array. So if the array could figure out how many people are true, how many of the 8 in the array are true. So if there's 3 true, then there's 3 people that are going to be in the race, or 3 people in the fashion show or whatever. And then the system needs to get set up for 3. Or if there's 6 people, the system needs to get set up for 6. Hopefully randomize that order. Go through all those people while everybody else is voting. Determine first, second, and third. Reward them. And then start another 2-minute cycle of getting dressed for the next theme. It sounds really not the easiest thing in the world, but I think it's possible if we just stay consistent on it for a while. And hopefully this is a really good stepping stone, which we started today. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. If anybody ever has any questions or wants any help with anything, please reach out anytime. Sorry Roxy wasn't with us today. He's not feeling the best, but he'll be back soon. And the next fashion show, we do have the 4 artists selected already. MLP is live. Wow, Bruno's been busy. Nice. He's not streaming, is he? Start staking those tokens if you bought them. And if you haven't bought them, go buy them. It should be a pretty cool project. Thanks for the heads up, Wicked. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with Roxy. We can go more over the fashion show and potentially work on this or something else. So don't be a stranger. Reach out anytime. I'm just checking on Twitch. All right, I appreciate you all very much. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You're welcome, Wicked. It's good to see you. Play game for fun. I appreciate you. Hey, Huddle. Good to see you. I hope you have a good day. Hope you're feeling better. Reach out anytime you need me. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow.